horrible experience with my realtor and how she has caused drama, chaos, confusion during this very vulnerable time in my family's life. It's really just put a damper on me. It's caused me a lot of anxiety and depression. Like I said, I will be filing a complaint because I just feel like she has created unnecessary drama. It's not signed, then I'm not moving. So you guys just might very well see me still in this house. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new, my name is Macy. Hey guys, hey, what's up? How are you guys doing? Hope you all are doing well. So as you guys can tell down in the title of the video, today I'm going to be sharing with you guys my horrible experience with my realtor and how she has caused drama, chaos, confusion during this very vulnerable time in my family's life, and just wanted to do this video to document this process. So if you're interested in all I have to say, then just keep on watching. Okay, so I want to give a shout out to Andy. If you watch this video, if you stumble across it, I just want to thank you so much for being there for me, listening, to everything that has been happening and how this drama has unfolded during this very vulnerable time in my family's life. And so, Andy, I appreciate you. I don't know what I would have done without you. Obviously, I could have, called my family and talked to them, but a lot of times, I don't really like to burden my family with things, but I do talk to them. But I just want to say thank you, and I might be going to Ireland now, guys. And so if you are new, or if you go back and watch my previous video, I did tell you guys that my house sold within 2 weeks. I'll leave some other videos explaining why I'm moving and just kind of get you up to speed on what I'm about to say. So it has really just put a damper on me. It's caused me a lot of anxiety and depression, which I already have anyway. And so her doing what she has done has really exacerbated it. And so when it's all over with, I definitely plan on filing a formal complaint and just really getting justice for my family and I. So as I mentioned before, or in a previous video, I had a tentative closing date, and that closing date that I agreed to was strictly coming from the buyers of my home. So they were the ones that requested the closing date that I agreed on. And so it was agreed upon, everything went well, everything was great. And then last week, or it was a couple weeks ago, or maybe last week, my realtor sent a text message and was like, hey, I can get you a sooner closing date. And she also started to talk about how I would get my money from the home sooner, which, by the way, I had not mentioned money. I wasn't, in a rush to close early or to get my money early. So I think that was just her wanting to get the money early from the sale. But she said that I could close a little bit earlier than the original date that the buyers wanted to close. However, I would still be able to I would still have possession of this home until the actual closing date that we all agreed upon in the beginning. So I hope that made sense to you guys. So everything was good so I was like, okay, I will agree to an earlier closing date, since she mentioned that I would still have possession of this home on the actual closing date that was agreed upon. So everything made sense to me. It was fine because it still gave me time to get cleaners in here, to paint, and to just, get the house ready and comfortable and just prepared for the sellers, the buyers of the home. So I had a lot of things that I needed to do. So then on Sunday, I sent her a text to confirm that, hey, am I still scheduled to close on this date? However, am I also still scheduled to, still have possession of the home on the actual closing date that was first agreed upon? And this is where everything changed. This is where the confusion on her end started. This is where the drama unfolded. So at that point, I was looking for her to just give me a yes, because she was the one that changed everything. But that's not what I got from her, y'all. She was acting confused, like she didn't know what I was talking about. At that point, the buyers of this home have already, switched over electricity the day after the earlier close. And she started talking about how she wanted to check with the people that were buying this house, Realtor. So I was like, that's confusing. So I went back and forwarded the text message to her, basically using her words against her, and she just was acting dumb and confused. So by that point, I knew that my family wouldn't be ready to move out of this house by the sooner closing date. We would be ready to move out on the closing date that was originally stated. And so it sent a firestorm of panic, confusion, and ultimately a betrayal on her side of things. And so the next day, she still didn't respond to my question. And so finally, this is where I am right now with everything. And I'm just feeling really angry, I will say, and I feel very betrayed. And then she started to try to clean up her mess. And at that point, I was like, because up until that point, everything had been verbal. And I thought that that's how protocol was. Y'all have to keep in mind, I have never sold a home. I've never went through this process before. So that's why I say that my family and I, we are vulnerable because we've never, went through this process before. And so you trust that people will, have your best interest at heart. But now I know. And so now I'm having to have her draw up documents stating the original closing date that the buyers wanted. I'm having her draw up a document of her words of changing the date and then saying that I would still have possession of the home. It's just been so stressful, and I feel like it didn't have to be that way. You know what I'm saying? I was fine with the original closing date because that's, like I said, I have everything set up there, the movers and everything. And so of course she's trying to say things like, I care about you, I care about my family. And I sent her a text message stating, no, you don't care about my family, because this whole time I have had, questions about you. There's been red flags that have came up where she has constantly brought up the sellers, I keep saying sellers, the buyers of this home and their family and the situation that they are in. But not once has she ever brought up my family and, the things that I need during this vulnerable time. So like I said, I will be filing a complaint because I just feel like she has created unnecessary drama. She has been unprofessional. She also stated that the buyers of this home didn't have money, and I'm thinking about bringing that up during closing. Very unprofessional woman, and I would not recommend her. If you do live in the Indiana area and you are looking to sell your home, email me and I will give you her contact information and her name, and I will tell you to absolutely stay away from this woman, because I feel like you don't change things at the last minute. You know what I'm saying? You don't break promises. So now let me just kind of fast forward to where I am now. So I do have her, I sent her an email stating to her that she needs to draw up the original closing date. She needs to draw up the closing date that she suggested. She also needs to send me a form stating that I would still have possession of the home on the original closing date, even though she decided to change it. And I'm not going to go into closing. I'm not going to do any of that stuff until I get that information. And if I don't get that, and if that is not signed, then I'm not moving. So you guys just might very well see me still in this house, because I'm not going to be taken advantage of. I'm not going to be, you're not going to try and manipulate this situation. You are unprofessional. You stereotype the new family that's moving into this home, which is a black family, by the way. And I just feel like you stereotype that woman and her family, saying that they don't have money. And I'm just not going to be pushed around. So you guys, like I said, y'all might very well still see me in this house. If she doesn't draw up the documents and the necessary components to that document that is going to protect my family, then I'm not leaving. I'm not moving. And I will say this on a side note. When she said that I could remain possession of this home until the original closing date, even though she changed the date, she was supposed to send me a addendum. Now, mind you, she's never sent me any paperwork to sign anyway, other than the agreed upon amount of the sale. So that's a red flag too. So we're just gonna leave that there. I will update you guys on everything. Like I said, this is a part of my process right now. Let this be a warning to you guys as well. Like if you're selling, or especially the seller of the home, like you have rights too. Like don't let these realtors like push you over. And obviously they're in it for a quick sale. And I told her that. Like I told her, don't you dare say you care about my family. Refrain from personal statements, because that is absolutely not true. And like I said, she has made this process way more stressful than it had to be. And you guys know that I'm a business owner. Like I own and I operate the Autism Storyteller. I wouldn't dare treat my customers this way. You know what I'm saying? Want to like share what's going on with me, document this experience. That way, a year or two down the line, I can look back and say, dang girl, you were strong, like you went through that. So, but anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll talk to you soon. Cheers. Hoil.